Good morning, it's Kate. Welcome back to my channel. We are now 10 weeks out from my first show of the season. I'm super excited. I'm still working full-time as a nurse, and right now I'm on my night shift run. So I work a variable shift, so it's 8 weeks of days and then 8 weeks of nights. So this is week 2 of 8 of night shift. So I thought I'd take you along with kind of like how I, as a bodybuilder in prep, navigate night shift. So the first thing I do is, this is my first night tonight. I actually picked up tonight, so there's a question of if I even am going to work tonight, but I won't know that until 5 p.m. It's currently 5 a.m. and I'm just going to act as if I am going to work, because I don't want to accidentally not sleep and then go to a 12-hour overnight shift. That's just not going to work. What I do on my days is I will work out in the morning versus in the evening before I go to work. I always like to lift before I go to work. It's just kind of what I do. But I will work out in the morning of my night shift run to kind of tire myself out. And so I wake up as early as I can. I've been up since like 4, just kind of rotting in bed. And then I got out of bed at 5. And now I'm making up my pre-workout. Another thing that's really important is like not a lot of caffeine in the morning. The only caffeine I had was my 200 milligrams of caffeine pill that I took to get my heart rate kind of going, and I'll burn through that pretty well with my workout and then my cardio. And so I'm going to try this pump from Raw. It is a non-stim, and I really enjoy having non-stims for this reason. That way I can actually, like, you know, fall asleep later and I'm not like juiced up on 400 milligrams of caffeine. So we'll start with the pump Raw. This one is raspberry lemonade, and then during my workout I'll drink BCAAs. This one's an EAA plus from Raw, and this one's gonna be the watermelon grape. I'm usually not a grapey person, but for some reason the watermelon just cuts it right. So that's my stack for the morning. The munchkin is still sleeping, so I have to wear headphones in the gym, and then Dylan's actually working out, so it's kind of nice also working out in the morning because then I get to work out with him and I kind of have a built-in spotter. We're gonna go hit an upper body day. So that workout literally took me 2 hours, and I don't know why it took me 2 hours, but now we gotta get the munchkin ready for school. So get his lunch all packed. He's gonna stay the night with grandma tonight, so that's gonna help a lot. On days that I don't work in the morning and Dylan does, I take him to school, and then on days when I'm either sleeping or I do work, Dylan takes him to school. So today's one of those days where I get to take him to school. So we have a little routine. We get our lunch together, get our bags, we go in the car, we go find trains. Because even though daycare, I can see it from my backyard, we have to do a full 10-minute loop to get to school because it keeps them calm, which I'm okay with. So, we gonna go find trains?
You gotta do it to that.
Are we gonna go find trains?
I can't see me. I need still.
So, drop-off went surprisingly well today. We are going through like a little bit of a sleep regression with him, and very like Velcro child with me. So drop-offs have been really like tearful and really difficult to like be a part of. Just kind of like
He's crying. I'm trying to leave. The teachers have to pull him off of me, and it's just, I feel bad all the time. But today they were playing with like tiny Legos, and so he was like, "Bye, Mom," and just kind of like practically pushed me out the door. So I'm back now. It is 8:15. On my flip days, I like to be in bed for a nap around 1. So I start to wind down now. I still need to do my cardio. I think I'm going to do the bike just because it was an upper body day and my legs are still a little bit sore from yesterday, so I don't know if the stairmill will be the best. I will need to like really push on the bike at the beginning to get my heart rate back up because now I'm cold again because it's like, 30, 40 degrees in North Idaho. So I'll do my cardio and then eat breakfast, and then I just kind of like make my body feel tired for the rest of the day. Like I don't push myself to do anything. I just kind of go through my chores and things like that. I do have to go get a drug test for school today and then do a pickup at the mall. So that's at 11. And so hopefully we'll be back by noon so I can nap at 1. So do my cardio and then start kind of winding down. Okay, so let's talk food on night shift while I eat my food. My first meal today is going to be a chicken stir-fry rice. So like chicken fried rice, but with cauliflower rice. I'm kind of at that point in prep, not like super quite yet, where volume is going to start being important. So I made all my food a lot of volume. So rather than normal rice, I'm using cauliflower rice, less carbs so I can have more of it. And then I'm also having a pumpkin creamy. So it's just pure pumpkin and some Dairy Gold Fit Milk and a little bit of cheesecake pudding mix just to give it a little sweetness to it. Usually I'd have these as 2 separate meals, but here's how I do like my night shift food, especially during prep. So some people will just do like 1 big meal throughout their shift or like 2 meals. I just can't do that. I get really hungry pretty quickly. The first half of the shift is usually really, really busy. You're walking your hearts, you're getting all your assessments in, you're passing meds. So from like 7 to 10 is pretty busy, and by like 11, I'm pretty hungry. So how I track my macros is from midnight to midnight. So just making sure that from midnight to midnight, I get all my food in, and then I also just kind of make sure that I keep a good pace with my food. I kind of have it down now to after rounds, I get it. So like before I leave work, I have a meal. After rounds, which is like 9:30 or 10, I'll have a meal. If I have 6 meals that week, like I planned out 6 meals, I'll have one before midnight. And then I'll have another meal at 2 or 3 when I take my walk. And then I'll have another meal at 4 or 5 in the morning before it gets hectic again. And then I have my creamy when I come home. Because that's the only one that like I literally cannot make it at work. So this week, I have 6 meals, which after having all 6 of them yesterday, I think I might enjoy just having 5 meals. We'll see how it kind of plays out throughout the week and how work goes. So I try to keep my meals and how I eat them, like the order that I eat them, the same throughout the night, even though I'm only tracking from midnight to midnight. So my first and my last day of my stretch look kind of weird. So my first 3 meals the day before I take my nap are actually like my lunch, first dinner, second dinner, right? And then I wake up, eat my breakfast, have a snack, another snack. But if I want to do it in like my wake-sleep cycle, when I wake up, I have my breakfast, snack, lunch, first dinner, and then dessert, right? So how I work out today is I woke up, I worked out, and now I'm having my post-workout meal, which is actually what my lunch would be on night shift. So it's not a typical breakfast meal. You don't have to have eggs and bacon and toast at every breakfast. So I don't. I am very much a breakfast girl, but I know that I'm going to have it at some point today. This week it is eggs with sausage and then avocado toast is what I have for my breakfast. And I'm going to look forward to that when I wake up as my breakfast. But right now, I'm trying to get into the headspace that, like, this is my afternoon, this is my lunch, I'm going to be going to sleep in a couple hours. So it's already starting to train my brain that, hey, we're going to be going to bed in like 2 or 3 hours. Now, that idea might change as prep goes on and my food decreases. Like I said, I think I'm going to change it back to the 5 meals. So it'd be breakfast before I go to work, a meal at 10, a meal at 2, a meal at 5, and then my 5th meal when I come home from work. In my head, 6 meals sounded cool because I get 6 different things of food, but they're just not satisfying enough. I'm already hungry, so if I have 5 meals, I can make those meals just slightly bigger. Maybe they'll be a little bit more satisfying. So we'll kind of see how it goes, but that's my usual night shift food routine. Midnight to midnight tracking, making sure I'm hitting all those goals, and also keeping up with my steps throughout the day. I need 10,000 steps, and so I am currently at 4,000 steps for today, and that will turn over at midnight. So I always try to go to work with 7,000 or 8,000. It's about 1,000 steps from my car into the building, and then another 1,000 or 2 between walking my hearts, doing assessments, med pass, things like that. So hopefully before midnight I hit 10,000. If not, it's 11 p.m. and I'm doing circles around the nurse's station to get that 10,000. And then at 2:30 in the morning, I go for a 30-minute walk. And that usually gets me 3,000 or 4,000 just to kind of, it wakes me back up for the rest of my morning, because mornings in the CVICU get really hectic trying to get all your hearts back into chairs, making sure that everyone has walked and getting ready for cardiac rounds. So I make sure that I have at least like 6,000 or 7,000 steps by the time I leave work in the morning. And that just sets me up for success, especially since I don't want to be walking on the treadmill at home when I'd rather be sleeping. My cardio's up, my workouts are getting longer just because they're higher reps. So I need to make sure that I save what sleep I do have for sleeping. One thing I definitely sacrifice during prep, because I'm a nurse that works 312s, is my sleep. I usually get around 5 to 6 hours a night, and then I work out in the morning. So I'm up at like 3-ish to work out, just so I don't feel rushed on the way out. I'm trying to keep my cortisol levels low, so if I can keep my stress low by just giving myself more time, I will sacrifice the sleep for that. But then on my days off, I am sleeping. You know I am sleeping. So if you are a bikini competitor or any kind of competitor that's in prep that's also a nurse, leave me down in the comments below kind of what you do for your food and your meal plans on nights. I'm very interested. Maybe I'll just do one giant meal and graze throughout the night. I don't know. I would love to hear ideas on how you feel it benefited you and how you work with that. So, gonna enjoy my food, and then today's goal is I have to do the laundry. I have to fold the laundry, or else it's gonna be 4 days of no folded laundry. And all my clothes are clean. They're just in buckets, and I need them to be in the drawers so I can wear them. So, do the laundry. We have a drug screen at 11. And then I need to go to the mall for a pickup. And then also I'm out of a bunch of syrups for my coffee. And that is my pride and joy right now. And so I need to go pick up some more of that. Hopefully we'll be home by noon, eat my last meal, and be in bed by 1 p.m. Alright, everything that is done is folded. I just have my scrubs, things like that. Still got 2 loads going in the laundry room right now because Ollie did wet the bed last night, which is kind of rare for him. So that's all running in there. There's probably like 2 more loads in the closet. But you know what? This is good enough for a family that has 2 parents that are going through 2 or 3 outfits a day. And apparently a child that's going through 2 or 3 outfits a day as well. So, gonna put those away. It is 10:30 right now. I need to be downtown, which is about 15 minutes away, by 11:10. So I've got like 10-15 minutes. Maybe I'll put some of this away and then get going. We're back. It's almost bedtime.
You can tell I am really like in the mindset of winding down. So I'm gonna eat my third meal, which is like some chicken wraps, and then probably play some video games because that's gonna make my eyes really tired and then fall asleep. But I kind of wanted to show you what I picked up while I was out. So I have a black coffee every day, and I used to put some creamer in it, but now I want to like save those fats and carbs for whole food. So I just put in some syrup and like a sugar-free sweetener. I'm going to try to keep that in till probably like 6 weeks out, and then, or whenever my coach tells me to cut out all the sugar-free stuff. So we already have caramel. We bought like a 6-pack on Amazon, but I always like to keep vanilla in the house. And then my favorite one, which I think is kind of fun, is sugar-free Irish cream. And when people hear that I do Irish cream at work, I'm like, no, it's not like Bailey's. I'm not drinking on the job. I just like the flavor. It kind of makes it kind of fun. And then last time I had gotten chocolate chip cookie dough. It doesn't really taste like anything. It just makes everything sweet. So this time I went and I got brown sugar cinnamon. And I like the Torani over any of the other ones. Even though the other ones could be like $1 or $2 cheaper, they taste cheaper. I don't know. So I just stayed with the Torani. And then we also hit up Bath & Body Works. Actually, this was an online order because I am not safe inside of an actual Bath & Body Works. I will take advantage of every sale in there, and I will smell everything until my nose hairs bleed. So the main thing is we needed another wallflower. Our last one was this one, and it has finally died. We use it constantly. We have so many different like flavors and smells. This one is Bright Christmas Morning, which I also have a candle of it in my bathroom, and so this is my favorite one. But it finally died. Finally just cocked out. So bought a new one. It was like $5 for just like the plain black one, which was okay with me. But then while I was there, I've been wanting to get some more hand sanitizer recently, and they have the little tiny pocket backs in different like flavors. So I got raspberry tangerine. I think I got 2 champagne toast because that's my favorite candle. And I figured if I like the candle, I'm gonna like that scent too. Yeah, I got 2 of those. And then I was like on a lemon kick because I got sunshine and lemons and lemon pound cake. And then there was I was like, what's the #1 flavor? And it was the raspberry tangerine, but then I also got eucalyptus and spearmint because that's supposed to be helpful with like relaxing, and probably gonna need that eventually. And then a little sparkly carrier to carry it in on my purse. I mean, the eucalyptus and spearmint just smells like a normal hand sanitizer. Oh, okay, so the sunshine and lemons is like strong lemon. The iced lemon pound cake is very subtle lemon. So I'll have to see which one I like of those. Tangerine, raspberry tangerine is fruity. I like the fruity scents. Oh yeah, can't go wrong with champagne toast. It's just a classic. So just kind of hoard those around. Ollie likes to use them when we go out like shopping, and he wants to clean his hands in the back seat. So just kind of keep those on hand. So that's what I picked up. It is noon right now. I checked the schedule, and I'm still kind of like in the standby list because I picked up tonight, but it hasn't been updated in a couple hours, so I'll just kind of see when I wake up. My goal is usually to sleep from like 1 to 5. Even if I don't sleep, just laying there for 4 hours with my eyes closed, just trying to not think of anything, usually gives me enough energy to get through my first 12-hour shift, and then tomorrow I sleep hard. I'm gonna eat and then get ready for bed. So as a night shifter, there is a couple things that you definitely need to have in your home to optimize your sleep so you actually are getting like good sleep. So first thing, blackout curtains. I have 2 sets. So we have this first like accordion set here that gives you pretty good, like, it blacks out pretty well. However, like on the edges, it's still pretty like bright there. So then I have these full length blackout curtains on top of it. And we only have one window in our room, thankfully, so I don't have to worry about like really covering everything. Gotta shut the bathroom door because there is a window in there, but I sleep on the side of the bed away from the bathroom door, so like even the light underneath the door doesn't really bug me. And then I also like to sleep very warm, so heated blanket. You can barely see the cord, but I have a heated blanket on my side of the bed, and then a good book. Right now I'm reading Alchemized. I did read Manacled on a Kindle, and now I'm reading the heft of a book that Alchemized is. Reading for me always just kind of tells my brain it's time to shut down and get kind of calm. 80% of the time it works. The other 20% it's like a cliffhanger book that I really want to read, and then I'm kind of screwed because then I'm awake. I do have like a couple like go-tos, like, oh my gosh, I still can't fall asleep. I'll watch a movie, and my go-tos for that are Wall-E, because it has a really good soundtrack. Treasure Planet also has a good soundtrack, and Atlantis. It's just like my go-to comfort movie. If that doesn't work, I'll stick on an audiobook. And usually what I've been doing is the old Harry Potter audiobooks, because I'm currently reading the full cast audiobooks that they've been like releasing every month. And but the narrator from the old one, his accent and everything is just very calming and just kind of takes me back and makes me comfy. And I usually fall asleep pretty well with that. I also know the books really well, so I don't feel like I'm missing anything by falling asleep during them. So it is 12:20. I'm going to curl up with my video game and see if I can fall asleep. I'll see you when I wake up. So that was actually the first time in a while that my flip worked. Usually I don't fall asleep till like 2, or I'm awake at like 3. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep at like 1:15 and woke up like 2 minutes before my alarm went off at 5. It is 5:15 now. I checked the schedule. I am slotted in the standby position, but I haven't gotten the text from staffing yet that I'm on standby. So until I get that text, I am just kind of doing things like normal, because I don't want to just be like, oh, I'm on standby, and then actually not be on standby and then be screwed. So I'm going to hop on to a staff meeting that's on Teams in 5 minutes that I forgot about, and go make some breakfast. I can hear my husband just kind of chilling out there, so go say hi to him and just wait for that text. If I do go on standby, that actually kind of helps me out because I picked up this shift because it's the beginning of my run of 3. So what I will do is I'll just stay up tonight and go to bed probably like 5 or 6 in the morning. And then that'll help me flip even better for tomorrow night, so that tomorrow night I'm not like completely zombie. But I don't like falling asleep on standby shifts because I am absolutely paranoid that I'm going to get called in and I'm going to miss it because I'm asleep. So I'll stay up till at least 3 or 4 because a lot of the charges are really nice, and both of them that are on tonight are really nice. And usually try not to call in people after like 4 a.m. because there's only like 3 hours left in the shift and they can probably cover it from there. But I always do like a check-in at like 2 or 3 in the morning to be like, hey, do you guys think you'll need me? Like, is it safe for me to go to bed? And then I'll go to bed after that. So I did end up getting the standby call, which means I'm on call for the night. However, I'm the 4th person to get called in tonight, which means they'd have to like admit at least like 6 or 7 people for me to get called in tonight. So it's looking pretty good that I'm not going to go in tonight, which is fine by me because I've got last week's YouTube video to finish editing and this video to finish editing. So I'm going to stay up all night as much as I can. Again, we usually get a text around like 11 saying like continue standby until the morning. And then I will text the charge nurse at around like 3 or 4 to be like, hey, am I going to like just zonk out for a little bit? Also, I want to make sure that I am flipped with my food. So I just ate my breakfast, and then in a couple hours I will eat my cereal Rice Krispie thing that I have, and then a couple hours later, around midnight, yogurt, and then since I go midnight to midnight, I'll flip again. So I probably will have at least one meal at like 2 a.m. Before I go to bed. My weight will be really off tomorrow, and it usually is on the first day just because of how food timing works out, but that way I can at least get my body kind of back into the routine of, okay, sleep during the day, eat at night. I self-scheduled myself this week 3 on, 1 off, 3 on, so that way I have a week on and then a week off. I think that's going to be a lot better for me personally, especially being in prep. So this night shift run is a lot of week on, week off, and then I think like the last 2 weeks are like just the weekends. So thanks for coming along with me for a day in the life of a night shift nurse. Yeah, so normally I'd be leaving right now. It's about 6:20. I have work at 7. And so, but tonight we're not going to work. But that is normally how I would flip and do all of my food and stuff as a bodybuilder on prep. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you next week. Bye!
It goes up, goes back down, it goes up.